Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. I'm Nathan Hager, joined by Bloomberg's Valerie Teitel with a lot going on in individual stocks this morning. Valerie, starting off with Nvidia, big moves from President Trump and apparently some big moves from China as well. Good morning.
Yeah, exactly. A lot in the fine details with this Nvidia announcement. But Nvidia shares are in the green. They're up 0.6%. And that comes after Trump has given approval for them to sell a chip called the H200 used in AI inference into China in exchange for a 25% surcharge. Nvidia shares originally had risen as much as 2.9% in after-hours trade. Now, that decision allows Nvidia to potentially regain some business in China. But the key word there is potentially, because we've also heard from the FT reporting that Chinese regulators are discussing ways to limit permits in access to this chip. That's despite Trump's export approval. So again, another sign that China is really pushing for self-sufficiency in chip production. Similar move happened back when the Trump administration lifted the export ban of the H20 chip from Nvidia. Beijing also moved to limit access to it. So a bit of back and forth for Nvidia, but we're just slightly in the green for the share, up 0.5%.
And I guess there's probably going to be lots more back and forth when it comes to the entertainment companies that are at war with each other for Warner Brothers Discovery.
Yeah, that's right. Paramount out with that hostile bid in yesterday's session. The key thing really in the pre-market move is that Paramount shares are continuing to trade higher. They leaped by 9% in yesterday's session. They're up at another 3.25%. Now, a lot of speculation on why Paramount is trading so strongly off the back of this, because normally someone who does make an acquiring bid like this, shares normally trade in the red off the back of it. But I think there's a lot of attention on the fact that those who are pledging equity in this deal, that being a lot of those Middle East funds, Saudi Arabia, PIF, Qatar is also involved. They've agreed to forego governance rights or board seats, which essentially is giving a lot of cash in Paramount's hands with not a lot of strings attached. That's positive for the shareholders. So perhaps that's why we're seeing the outperformance again today for Paramount amid this hostile takeover bid for Warner Brothers.
We've also had some familiar names out this morning with new guidance for investors. What stands out there?
Yeah, so some companies are hosting investor days today, one of them being CVS. That one is a positive share move, up over 3%. They issued an annual forecast that seemed to become better than the market expected. They also announced some new technology products and services offerings as well. The other one is Home Depot, a bit of a different story here. Ahead of their investor day, they gave a cautious preliminary forecast for next year, citing the challenging U.S. housing market. So they're seeing shares of Home Depot down 1.4%. However, Home Depot did detail that they are ready for a potential rebound in the housing market. They did detail a market recovery scenario where they see 4 to 5% sales growth in that scenario. There is another home builder that is citing weakness in the housing market. I want to bring to your attention, that's Toll Brothers. It's down over 4%. They are citing softness in many markets for the luxury home builder. This is out with their results out last night, and they gave a weak forecast for deliveries in 2026, which is surprising, Nathan, because Toll Brothers, being the home builder at the top price point of the market, was thought to be a bit more resilient to the housing slowdown, but that's proving not to be necessarily the case this morning.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.